In Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, we need to talk about the new Rampage Decorations, as some of the skills that are on these decorations have dramatically changed since base Rise, and so some of them don't function quite the same. So we thought it would be good to give you guys some recommendations for safe choices in Sunbreak that you can use to get the most bang for your buck. So of course, if you do find these videos helpful, show support by clicking like down below, and subscribing for all the other guides we have for you guys on the channel already. Put in the comments down below if you have any information, tips, or advice about the decorations in Sunbreak. And let's start off with a quick refresher for those new to Monster Hunter or Sunbreak so that everyone is up to speed. You will of course unlock these Rampage decorations once you have access to the smithy in Elgato in the Sunbreak expansion, and you'll get more of them as you defeat more of the Master Rank monsters by getting their parts which are required to make some of these decorations. The Rampage decorations themselves are of course skills that were previously ramped up onto the weapons themselves in base Rise. These are exclusive to weapons, you cannot use these decorations on armor pieces, just as in base Rise these ramp up skills were exclusive to the weapons. In base Rise, however, when you went to ramp up a weapon, you had a very limited pool of skills to use. In Sunbreak, because they're now decorations, it means that so long as the Rampage decoration slot on the weapon will support the level of the Rampage decoration, you can mix and match however you like, meaning that previous weapons have access to even more Rampage skills than before. So now that we're brought back up to speed with what exactly Rampage decorations and Rampage skills are, let's talk about how some of them have changed in Sunbreak. The first thing to note is that some of the best Rampage skills from the base game of Rise are actually missing, like the Silkbind boost skill, so hopefully these will be reintroduced in future updates, but if the trend of the balance changes continues, then they will probably have been nerfed into the ground too, just like Hellion mode. In the base game, the cat claws for the dual blades were the only weapons that could use the Hellion mode as a Rampage skill. This means that they could benefit from 100% affinity when it was applied, at the cost of double sharpness loss. Now in Sunbreak though, you only get a 20% bonus to affinity, so it doesn't seem anywhere near as useful as it was in the base game. So when you take into account the double sharpness loss, 20% affinity just doesn't seem worth it. Another skill that's worth talking about because it's been nerfed is the Kalida Deora skill. This is still a somewhat popular one in Sunbreak, as its core skill bonus is still relatively decent, but it just isn't quite as good as it used to be in the base game of Rise. The skill itself says that it gradually increases affinity by continuously landing hits on a foe in a short space of time. In the base game of Rise, this was a 30% affinity after landing the continuous hits, but now it's been cut in half to only 15%. This isn't too bad though, because this is an extra 15% with no drawback. Whereas with Hellion mode, you get 5% more to 20%, but you lose double sharpness all the time while in Demon mode. So when you compare these two together, the Kalida Deora Soul Rampage skill is definitely the better of the two at 5% less affinity, but with no drawback of the double sharpness loss while in Demon mode. However, there are some other ones that are still pretty good, which is the Antispecies Rampage decorations. They give you a flat 5% raw damage increase to a particular type of monster, so you have to swap them out depending on what you're fighting. It can be difficult or confusing to remember each of the monster's types when you're swapping this out between hunts, but thanks to the amazing Gordium017 on Twitter, there's this amazing infographic that makes it super easy and you can reference this in between your hunts. So Gordium did absolutely amazing with this infographic, and I do apologise if I'm saying your name wrong. With these Antispecies Rampage decorations, the general rules are that for the anti-fanged, it's for fanged beasts like Rajang and Garangolm. For the anti-aquatic, it's for the water boys like the crabs, Mizu, and other things that like water. For the anti-aerial, it's for anything with wings or that hovers, but the anti-dragon is for basically anything else that wasn't previously mentioned in those other categories. If you want to play the game easy mode and be a little lazy with it, and not have to change between every single hunt, then you could essentially just slot in anti-dragon, as this has the biggest selection of monsters that are weak to it, so this will generally do well for you, but you will be more efficient if you're switching it out between hunts. This was just a quick recommendation for the best Rampage decorations that you should use at the moment. Hopefully Capcom does update the game with the new skills that are missing, and if they do, we'll keep you up to date with new recommendations once those new monsters release. If you found this one helpful, make sure to support the video by clicking like down below because it really does help. Of course, subscribing for all the other guides on the channel is a great thing to do if you want more content like this. And of course, put in the comments if you have any other Rampage decoration recommendations that we didn't cover in this video. For the two videos that are on screen now, we think you might be interested in them. If you like the look of them, why not give them a try and click them and then let us know what you think of them in the comments down below. You don't have to, but if you do like the look of them, make sure to click them before the video ends and they go away, so give them a click now.